Hello, and welcome to episode 13 of All Things EGOT. My name is Portia West.
And I'm Maury Ritchie. On today's show, music critic Ronnie MackRosen is back to recap the Grammy Awards.
Plus, Patrick Mays returns to share his fashion hits and misses from music's biggest night.
Portia, this is our next to last episode, and I'm feeling some kind of way about that.
I know, Maury, but let's not go there yet.
You're right. We'll stay in the moment and finish strong. Now, back on episode 3 of our show, we shared 2 artists just one award away from being an EGOTer. Well, one of them has arrived.
Yes, so let's take another look at the career of the 13th EGOTer, John Legend.
He was born John Stevens, but the world knows EGOTer 13 as singer, musician, and producer John Legend. In 2006, Legend received multiple Grammys, including Best New Artist, for his debut album Get Lifted. His rich baritone voice and melodic piano playing proved to be a star-making combination. As the co-writer of the anthem song Glory from the film Selma with hip-hop artist Common, Legend won the Best Original Song Oscar in 2015. In 2017, Legend won the Best Revival of a Play Tony Award for August Wilson's Jitney. The story explores the lives of jitneys, unofficial, unlicensed taxi drivers in Pittsburgh during the 1970s. In 2018, Legend starred in and co-produced Jesus Christ Superstar live on NBC. It was both a critical and rating success that led him to winning the Emmy for Outstanding Variety Special. John Legend achieved EGOT status extremely fast in his career and will continue to be a major entertainment player for years to come. He has also been very involved with various humanitarian issues. Legend once said, "People like Dick Gregory, Paul Robeson, Harry Belafonte, and Nina Simone show me what the definition of an artist is. It isn't just to make art, but to speak truth to what's happening, speak beauty in the world, speak love in the world, and also get involved." These details are obtained from wikipedia.org. For All Things EGOT, this is Sandra Ag.
Big thanks to our guest narrator, Sandra Ajamani.
The 61st Annual Grammy Awards were filled with some amazing performances, and women were the winners in over a dozen of the main genre categories. This is quite a jump from last year.
It sure is, Portia. Music critic Ronnie MackRosen is back to help us unpack the highs and lows of the show, plus how he did with his predictions. Welcome back, Ronnie.
Glad to be back, Maury and Portia.
Let's start with a look at those predictions, Ronnie. Your personal favorite, Casey Musgraves, was a big winner.
I could not be happier about Casey. I think it's great for her, and I think it's great for country in general. Country radio has been dominated predominantly the last few years by very meat-headed bro country like Florida Georgia Line or Luke Bryan, and I think that the fact that someone like Casey just won Album of the Year for a very poppy but also very pure country album, I think it's going to be very, very good for the genre.
I was surprised that Childish Gambino won both Record of the Year and Song of the Year for This Is America. It's the first time a rap artist has ever won both.
I'm not at all surprised that is the first time that a rap artist has won in either category. Our Grammys have kind of a history of being exclusionary towards hip-hop and just kind of any of the major categories, but I think it took somebody as talented as Childish Gambino, as talented as Donald Glover, to someone who dominated pop culture this year. This Is America, I don't think it was ever a question of whether or not it was going to win. It was the absolute biggest song of the year. It was one of the biggest cultural moments of the year. I don't think there was any chance that anything else could win.
What did you two think about the host, Alicia Keys? Should they bring her back next year? My thoughts on this is that no, they should not bring her back next year, because when you bring back the same host year after year after year, it gets boring and monotonous, and people will go, oh no, not this person again. Portia, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think she did a great job. She performed well, loved the wardrobe changes and everything. But that's good for this year. I don't need to see that again next year. I like it when they switch up. You don't know who's going to be hot next year.
I also have to agree with that. I was very, very surprised with how much I liked Alicia Keys as a host, but I think that it should be somebody else next year. Whenever somebody hosts for like several years, it just kind of gets tiresome at a certain point. I remember how bored I was when LL Cool J hosted for the 5th time in a row, it seemed like.
What about the best and the worst moments, guys? The worst moment for me was a Motown tribute. I love J-Lo. She's beautiful. She performs well. She did a good job, but she's never been on the label. I mean, how do you get to do that and you've never been a Motown artist? There are living artists that were in the audience that could have done that.
I agree with you 100%, Portia. Diana Ross was there. She did a performance earlier in the show. They could have gotten her to do the Motown medley. My worst criticism of the Grammys, year after year, it's a 3.5, 4-hour show, and they barely give out 9 to 10 awards. I wish they would recognize other genres, blues, gospel, dance, classical. Give those awards out on the show to give those artists their moment in the sun.
Agreed.
Ronnie, what are your thoughts?
I think that it's pretty obvious that the Grammys don't care about rock that much. They've made that very clear, but there was one moment that just kind of solidified it for me. The In Memoriam section, Vinnie Paul of Pantera, the drummer from Pantera, he died over the summer and he was not included in the In Memoriam section. Pantera is one of the most influential bands in metal. Metal would not be where it is right now if it wasn't for the work that Pantera did and the fact that Vinnie was excluded from the In Memoriam section. It's kind of disgusting if I'm being honest.
It appears that the Academy's strategy of increasing the number of nominees did lead to more women winning in major categories, like Cardi B being the first woman to win Best Rap Album. I do think this is a great thing. There is a lot of great music being made out there by women, and I think it's important that women are recognized. It was disgusting what happened last year in that there was only, I believe, one artist that won a major category. So I think the Academy is doing the right thing and taking a step in the right direction. Ronnie, do you think it was the right move?
I think it was the right move so that more women could win, but I kind of think that it's too little too late. The Grammys, again, this year, the ratings dropped for them. They've been dropping year after year. I just think that people have kind of given up at this point.
Thank you, Ronnie. Portia, what are your thoughts?
You know, I think it was actually a good idea to do the 8 because it shows the diversity. That way it's not just a set of women or a set of men. When you have 8, you have more to choose from. And hopefully that means that the Academy put some thought into it because the best is still going to be the best whether you're choosing from 3 or 8, right?
Well, Ronnie, we want to thank you for joining us to discuss what was definitely a memorable Grammy Award show.
Do you have any final thoughts?
Absolutely. I watch the Grammys every single year. Even if I hadn't been doing this, I would have watched the Grammys. And the last few years, it's been just like catastrophically boring. Like there's a few good performances and then it's just a slog until the end because everyone's performing very boring, slow songs. But I think that this was easily one of the better Grammy Awards ceremonies that I've seen in a very long time. A lot of the performances were really great, especially Camila Cabello, Ricky Martin, and J Balvin at the beginning. And I personally really liked Post Malone and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I thought it was a really, really cool performance. But at the same time, I would easily give up like most of those performances if they would present more of the awards at the Grammys rather than having them be at like a live telecast online earlier. I think that the best way to get more viewers to your show is not by like having all of these like spectacular performances, but just showing the niche audiences that you have that you care about what they listen to.
Awesome. Thank you, Ronnie.
Thanks so much, Maury and Portia.
Patrick Mays is back to share his thoughts on the best and the worst looks from the Grammy red carpet. Welcome back, Patrick.
Great, thanks, Portia. It's good to be back.
So the Grammys, they have a different vibe than the other award shows, sort of like an avant-garde Met Ball kind of feel. What do you think?
I agree, but they shouldn't, because it's not the Met Gala, so it's the Grammy. So.
Well, let's just jump right in and start with your first. The best dressed you've got on the list here is Lady Gaga.
Yes, Lady Gaga was wearing a silver sequin strapless Celine gown with 100 carats of Tiffany diamonds. Beautiful, just beautiful. I was just so happy to see Lady Gaga is not a music star. She's a movie star. Because every time we see her at awards now, this is how she's presenting herself. She's wearing designers and not meat dresses and showing up in eggs and all of these theatricals that she used to wearing.
I agree with you. I think she's looking more mature. There's a little bit of class about her, the way she's looking, and she always seems to change her hair. So she's got a good look on the red carpet and a different look very frequently. Now, your second choice for the best dress was Alicia Keys.
Yes, Alicia Keys was wearing a red neck plunging Armani Privé gown with Bulgari jewels. She looked stunning. I was just so impressed with Alicia because I'm used to seeing her in a more tomboyish way. So I just thought she looked beautiful. She looked very classy and elegant, like a lady.
I agree. She had several, wardrobe changes, but the red dress is the one that kind of stood out the most. That was very appealing for her. Let's see what we've got on the list for the third person. We've got Camila Cabello.
Yes, Camilla looked gorgeous. She was wearing a coral, which is the new color for the season. This Armani Privé long sleeve, high neck, floor-length gown with teardrop Harry Winston diamond earrings. Just beautiful, just beautiful. She's young too, so she's kind of new on the scene, and she's dressing, like kind of changing up her looks from, show to show. This kind of gave her like a more of a matronly look. Would you agree?
I do agree on the matronly part. One, you can't go wrong with Harry Winston, so I'm on board with that.
Yeah.
However, the actual dress, for her to be just 21 years old, it made her look a lot older.
Yeah.
It's classy, but it just didn't look age appropriate. I think they were trying too hard to make her look, and so matronly was a really good word for that, because at 21, it just looked, she could have been a little sassier, I think. So.
Yeah, she is sassy, trust me. She's been at other shows, and she's shown her sassy part. So
Maybe they're trying to calm her down.
yes, I think that's what they're trying to do. For this
Now
one.
let's talk about the worst dressed. On your list, you've got, first and foremost, the Madam Cardi B.
Yeah. Cardi B was wearing a vintage Terry Mugler dress from 1995, and she should not have. That's something that you would wear to the Met Gala. And so she really should have saved that for the Met Gala. This was not the event to wear that dress to.
I agree. And that hit it looked like a poisonous flower blooming. It just was not graceful. I didn't know it was that old. But yeah, I agree. That's more Met Gala as opposed to the Grammys. I mean, it's overshadowing the music when you have the over-the-top. Any dress that takes up more room than your seat, it's probably a bit much, I think, at the Grammys.
Yes, I agree. I agree 100%.
Now, number 2, Heidi Klum. Well, come on.
I'm sorry. I mean, Heidi Klum, she was wearing a white mini dress with wings. I don't know if she was trying to fly or what was going on with her, but I couldn't even find out who the designer was. I mean, thankfully so.
Nobody laid claim to it?
No one wanted to lay claim to it. Poor Heidi.
She was reaching for one of those Victoria's Secret moments with the wings.
I think that's what was happening. I think she was kind of having reminiscence about when she was on the runway for Victoria's Secret. The wings start flying out.
I'm looking at number 3, and I have to agree with you there. Katy Perry. I saw Cake Topper. That's what that dress looked like. What do you think?
Absolutely. It was horrible. I mean, Katy Perry was wearing couture balmain. This was couture, so someone intentionally did
that on
this.
purpose.
Yeah, this was intentional. And I have to say this, though, for Katy, though, her hair and makeup was beautiful. But when you went from the neck down, no, I'm sorry, it was just wrong.
Okay, Patrick, you also came up with an honorable mention of worst dressed. Now, we threw a lot of ladies under the bus, but there were some guys on this list. And top of it, Post Malone. Come on.
Oh my gosh, Post Malone was wearing this leather leisure suit with flower appliques over the suit. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know where he was thinking where that look came from, but it was horrible.
I saw it. It's a shame Mikhail died for that jacket. It's not good. He's not the only one. There was another guy on the list, Leon Bridges. Full floods and high waters. That's, what did you think?
Well, it looked like a little cowboy outfit from a little boy was wearing when he was 6 years old. Because he had the hat, and then he had the short pants and everything. It was a cowboy.
Now, you had also Jennifer Lopez on that honorable mention.
Oh, yeah, that was hard. Yes. J-Lo was bad. And you know what? She was wearing Ralph and Russo and that hat. No, J-Lo. No, J-Lo. And I think she really tried to go with the hat because she was doing the dedication for the Motown thing, but no.
Now, I love Janelle Monáe, but I don't know who dressed her and why.
I think she contacted Joan Collins and said, "Can I borrow one of your suits from the Dynasty?"
From 1980 suit?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Very much so.
So and there's one other boot up. That's who I'm thinking of. Her. What did you think?
Oh, that was horrible. And that was by Coach.
Really? I love Coach.
They make nice purses, not nice dresses. So I'm sorry. So, Coach, stick to the purses, leave the clothes to the designers. So.
Well, Patrick, it's always fun to get your take on the fashion red carpet hits and misses, and we look forward to your input on the Oscars.
Yes, I cannot wait. I'm so looking forward to it.
Thank you so much, Patrick.
Thanks for having me.
Great.
You know, Portia, Patrick said out loud what I wish I could about some of the red carpet choices.
I know what you mean, and I stand my ground. If your dress takes up more than one seat, it might be a bit much for an award show. Thanks again to our guest narrator, Sandra Ajimani, music critic, Ronnie MackRosen, and fashion critic, Patrick Mays.
Join us next time for our series finale when Patrick Mays and Dave Bell will return for our Oscar recap. Thanks for watching.
Peace.